Guys, it's the Monday after I've got a sore throat. I'm a mess, guys. I'm an absolute, no, I'm joking. I'm top notch. Like 10 out of 10 top notch. Well, I wouldn't say 10. I'm being weird. Sorry if you can hear loads of like bumping and stuff. My washing machine's on and my dishwasher. Oh, they're both on. So it's very noisy. My camera might also die halfway through this, which would not be ideal, would it? Because I have had such a good weekend, it inspired me to do a video about, well, I can't decide, some things that have happened to me since I have gained weight. Now, not legit things like I ate a cream egg. So these are some of the things that have happened to me since gaining weight, and the reason why I thought I would do this one is partly because I had such a wicked weekend that I was like, funny, because I probably wouldn't have had this much fun if I was still like gym head Chloe. And also I get a lot of messages of girls in very similar positions of saying like, I really want to get my period back but I don't want to gain weight, and I actually don't think that the stopping the exercise or eating a bit more food or anything like that is the main thing that people are bothered about. I think the main thing that people get bothered about is they don't want to gain weight, when like I can tell you like it's alright. So I thought I would rattle off a few things about like things that, yeah, about how I feel about myself and a few things that have happened to me since I have gained. Number one would be I actually have more energy and I'm up for so much more. I think that's probably like one of the biggest, I'd say having more energy has been the biggest thing for me, because there were so many times that I would really want to go out and do something, but like I literally just like couldn't do it. And I've even noticed it during recovery actually. I've noticed that there has been times in like recovery, like lockdowny, that I have felt as if I felt like I wanted to do something but my body like literally cannot do it. And I would even say like previously I wouldn't have had the energy, like being as tired as I feel, I wouldn't have had the energy to be able to do a vlog or anything like that. So I think the biggest one is having the energy and actually just being up for doing stuff. If people are like, do you want to do this? I'm like, yes, I want to do that right now. I forgot, I've lost track. My neighbour just turned up and I think he's going to look at me when he gets out of his car and notice I'm talking to a camera, and I think it's too late to pull my blinds, because I think then he would notice that I've pulled my blinds because he's just pulled up, and now I feel really, really weird. Should we just move on? Yes. But as soon as I said, shall we move on, my camera died. That is the universe having my back. Thing would be like my taste buds, guys, are like going through like a little party. There is when you kind of like embrace like this new life, if you like, you start to try out new foods and obviously with new foods comes new flavors, right? So I don't know about any of you, but for me personally, I never ate carbs. I would eat more like a high protein, high fat diet, but I would still opt for lower calories. How my life has changed. So yeah, I guess like now, like my life would be completely different. Oh, there's another bird. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, whereas like I guess that also like marries up with the whole having more energy and being up for doing things. If someone said to me like, should we go out and try this new restaurant? Obviously now we're allowed to because our lockdown is lifting. I would probably be like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to try that. Where am I going with this? Yeah, I'd be so up for that, whereas before it would be like, no, can we just go to Nando's so I can have my butterfly chicken and salad? What a party I was. I would also say I'm a lot more productive, and I think this just comes from having more energy. I think a lot of this comes from when you are finally eating the right amount of food and you may go through some kind of weight gain. I finally have the amount of energy that my body needs to help me be really productive, and it feels like I can really like focus. I no longer have that like weird brain foggy thing that I'm just like, I'm so busy but I don't know what I'm doing with myself. It's more like channeled and focused. I also think gaining weight has enabled me to, I've got a little crumble in the homemade crumble in the oven and it smells delightful. I might need to check it in a minute. Oh, I've forgotten where I was going with that. Oh yeah, I also feel like since eating more and having more energy and obviously gaining weight, I've also worked out exactly what I want. I feel like I'm very like channeled in, like I know what I kind of want in life at this moment anyway. Obviously that can change at any point after any circumstance, but like right now I feel like I finally feel like I know where I'm going. I feel because I've got the energy, because I've kind of accepted myself a little bit, and because when you're able to like decide, when you know what you don't want, you do know what you do want. Do you know what I mean? You can flip it and look at what you do want. So yeah, I feel like I'm a lot more like focused and a lot more like channeled into like achieving what I actually want to achieve, you know? Magpie. Oh no, my camera's gone dead, like low again. I did only charge it for like 20 minutes to be fair. Anyway, come on Chloe, there's 2 robins and a magpie. I am all over it. I think it's because it's been raining, so all the... Oh, there's 2 magpies. Honestly, I swear to God, this life is great right now. I bet it's because it's been raining, so all the worms come up to the thing, don't they? From a spiritual side, when you're giving yourself your energy, you feel a lot more grounded. And if you want to look at like the 7 chakras, which I've fine if I've completely lost you on this, but if you are interested, let me know, because I can do a video on how like your chakras, which are your outer energy systems, can all relate to certain things like body confidence and energy and that kind of thing. But when you finally give yourself the amount of energy that your body requires, you feel a lot more grounded, and once your root chakra is open, it really helps you with your other chakras, so that my hormones are regulating, because your sacral chakra, which is all around your like reproductive organs and is all about like birthing new ideas and fertility and like new growth and that kind of thing, and like the feminine energy. I feel like I've got so many more ideas, and I feel like I'm really like sticking to new projects or like birthing new projects because my hormones are kind of firing. So that's like a bit of a hippie one, which if I've lost you, soz. If I haven't and you want a bit more of a video on it, then slide into my DMs, because I'll be so keen to do a video about that. I'm hot. Okay, I think I need to stop, because I think there's 2 things that it really comes out of. I'm 100% more confident in myself, especially body confident, and I've got a shit ton of more energy, and I think because I've got the more energy, I've got the time to be able to do the things I really, really enjoy, which then leads to me being able to be more focused, birth new projects, have more fun, create the best memories. And when it comes to that diet culture mentality, and if you're from a background like me of like just loving the gym a little bit too much and constant dieting, I'm getting so riled up that I'm getting the burps. That it's such a selfish time of your life that and also like it's so thought consuming that you can't look elsewhere, because all you're thinking about is when your next workout's coming from, when your next meal is coming from. You're so dieting so much that your body is constantly thinking about food. Guys, I've had to move to my phone, my battery exhausted, but I feel like I'm on such like a little, what's the word? I feel sexier, like so much more sexy and so much more confident in myself and my body than I ever did when I was chasing skinny, and that's been the one thing that I'm like, and it just blows my mind. Do you think a lot of it comes from like when you are on this journey and when you do finally surrender, you do get to know yourself a little bit more? And I definitely dive so much into like self-help books and spirituality and stuff like that, which I do think you then like grow and you do naturally get to know yourself as a person. But I feel good, guys, and I think I know how scary and daunting weight gain can be, but when I surrendered, the way I kind of looked at it was like, well, I've got to this size as I am. I've managed to get to this size because I know how to lose weight. Say I gain weight, I really, really hate it, I get my period back and I've had like consistent cycles, then there's nothing to say that I can't then have a physique goal if it's then done in an appropriate and safe way that my body's not going to like freak out at, you know? And I think that's the thing, I kind of was just like, what is my priority right here and right now? Well, actually, I just want to flip and be happy, and I know having a period will be happy, and I also know that like I knew that the current life I was living, I wasn't happy. As soon as you just like surrender to that moment and you're like, okay, how I'm living my life right now isn't working, so what's the harm in trying something new? If you're from a background like me, you will know how hard it is to lose weight and to get to a certain size in skinny, no matter how drastic you try to do it. It takes that long as well just to gain weight. People don't just suddenly wake up overnight and obese and really, really unhealthy. And I realise that I'm looking slightly weird as well, aren't I? Like, that doesn't happen. It happens consistently. So you're not just going to wake up one day and just be like, ugh, what is going on? Who is that? And I think as long as you're still working on yourself and you're still filling yourself with good food and you're still like moving and you're trying to embrace the new life that you want by like going out and having fun and stuff, the confidence and the self-confidence and the inner love, I guess, will come with it as well. I think if you just sit on the sofa and chomp down on a load of biscuit, and yeah, of course, like that's gonna be so shit because you're filming it. But if you say, okay, I'm gonna give this my full 100%, I'm gonna eat the food that my body wants. If I gain weight, fine. Just forget about that, because that is just a little byproduct, and there is a high chance that you do need to gain some weight. But as long as you stick to like the self-help bits, and like you're growing and you're seeking fun, and you're working on your other goals, whether that's like career goals or family goals or any personal goals that you want that's not related to fitnessy, because right now your priority is to break away from that and to become healthy. If you're working on yourself at the same time as committing to yourself to get your period back, I promise you that like the confidence and the happiness comes with it. So as the weight gain goes up, potentially, like steadily like this, does this work? This line is your happiness. So right now, your weight is potentially at quite a low, and your happiness is at its lowest. As your weight gain slowly increases, because like I said, you don't suddenly wake up 15 stone heavier, your happiness will be on like an exponential, and I love that word so much, where your happiness will be accelerating at a much faster rate than your weight ever will, because you're working on yourself and because you're seeking that fun and those relationships and whatever. That when you eventually get to the stage that you're like, okay, now I might need to like go up a dress size, it doesn't matter, because your happiness and your self-confidence and your self-growth and your self-knowing and your self-love and acceptance and stuff like that has also been growing at an even faster rate. And you like look in the mirror and you're like, oh, okay, you know? So yeah, I guess that's my shit about gaining weight and being alright with it. And yeah, I guess it's hard. I know it's so hard. I really do. And it took me ages to embrace it, and a pandemic, I guess. But promise, life's good this side when you make peace with yourself and you leave negative thoughts, people, patterns all behind. It makes way for the new, right? So look, my advice is just give it a go. I don't think I've got anything else to say. I'll see you next week. Anyway, bye bye.